Razor, you've hardly touched your Earl Grey. Is something bothering you?
That Ryan Wiley guy, I was talking to him on Twitter. Goddamn, he is an idiot. And here I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I think that's what your audience likes about you, is that you give people the benefit of the doubt. When did it dawn on you that he's an idiot?
Let me read you our conversation.
Holy shit. Another video response to me that's over 20 minutes. Do better, guys.
It would be one thing if these guys were actually saying something. I gather they're just trending?
The latest one suggests the video is sexist for reasons. In the words of Hast, how dare we give rights to men too?
You'll have to explain to me, or link me to, an explanation of how the VW protects men.
In general, if a piece of legislation focuses on the needs of a sex, that alone does not make it sexist.
I'm aware that the 2013 it was altered to change discrimination against men, on a very bypassable technicality, and for an explanation of how this does not completely protect men, link.
Wait, so your position is that the law doesn't go far enough? That's not the same as stating it's sexist.
Yes it is.
Do you believe the hate crimes bill is racist, because in practice it doesn't protect white people as much?
On the hate crimes bill, yes it is racist. What if we made an anti-carjacking bill that targeted blacks? Racist?
If it harms black people, yeah. That's the distinction between our views.
I suspect the distinction between our views is I believe we should be a race-blind and gender-blind society. I believe you are just anti-white, anti-cis, anti-male, anti-heterosexual.
We don't live in a colorblind, gender-blind meritocracy. Being those things doesn't end harmful isms.
That's super strange, as I'm all of those things. Do you believe I'm advocating against my own rights?
Yes, Ryan, I suspect you are. A pathology in the West known as oikophobia is very common.
Yes, because being against anti-black and people of color racism and LGBT phobia means Ryan Wiley hates himself, being a white man. I also must hate about half the people I know. This is the conspiracy these guys live in.
You've just proven you care about blacks but not whites, women but not men. How is it a conspiracy? When I used to go on about leftist liberals, these two jackoffs are the people I was talking about. Your typical social justice warrior, an oikophobic cultural Marxist. Here you see the guy basically saying stupid shit like just because it favors one sex doesn't make it sexist. Yeah, it actually does. The 2013 male inclusion is easily skirted around and was at best a token gesture to shut men up and to maintain the pretense of being neutral, I suspect as part of a strategy to make VW an international law. But again, favoring one group over another is discrimination by fucking definition, even if it's a matter of giving white people a $5 an hour raise, but only giving the blacks a $2 an hour raise. It's still racist. It's still discrimination. If his argument had been that males are not in any way discriminated against in the VW, that would be an entirely different argument altogether. But that's not his argument. His argument is just because it barely kinda sorta includes males, it is not sexist for focusing almost exclusively on females. He would support the hate crimes bill, which in implementation does not protect straight people from gays, or cis people from trans, or whites from non-whites, or men from women. Ergo it's anti-white, anti-male, anti-cis, anti-heterosexual. And when I call him out on it, you see how him and his friend are. They're like, oh, but he's all of those things, therefore he can't be against those things. That's how their kind operate. They're typically white cis heterosexual men bitching about white cis heterosexual men, supporting any bill or anything whatsoever that could help a demographic of people who are not white cis heterosexual men. They'll even support bills and policies that don't help anyone, but just really sock it to the males, really sock it to the whites, really sock it to the non-LGBT types. Bigotry. Pure fucking undeniable bigotry. And when you call them out on it, they're like, oh, but I am male, I am white, I am straight, I am cisgendered, so I can't be against those things, and then refer to your outing of their bigotry as conspiracy theorism. Man, I'm sorry, but Hitler and the Nazis were remarkably better human beings than these social justice warrior assholes. A group of black supremacists, Asian supremacists, white supremacists, are fundamentally better human beings. Feminist extremists that call for the mass male extermination, male population reduction, and male castration, are infinitely better human beings than these social justice warrior shitheads for two reasons. 1. They're at least looking out for their own, and that is psychologically healthy. Even if their views are supremacist and cruel, they're at least pushing for their own group, so they're mean but not fucked in the head insane. 2. At least they are out and open about their bigoted views. Gotta respect them for their honesty. People freaked because I made friends with Femitheist Divine, but hell, she might have genocidal plans for the male sex, But at least she wasn't half as bad as these lying little social justice weasels. I mean, come on. If you're a goddamn bigot, be a proud one, not a lying little shit. I mean, come on. This shit like I'm white, therefore I can't be anti-white. I'm male, therefore I can't be anti-male. That's like Benedict Arnold saying, hey, I'm American. My friends are American. I can't be conspiring with the enemy. You're a conspiracy theorist, man. If you'll remember in my cultural Marxism video, I mentioned there is something about these people that is different from the Bible-thumping conservative right-wing extremist who I also cannot stand. The extreme right is stupid, the extreme left is dishonest. And if you were to say this to any social justice warrior, they would say, look at this pathetic rich old white heterosexual male so afraid to give up his privilege. And if you were a gay or bisexual black man, they just say you suffer from internalized racism and internalized homophobia. And if you were to reply, but I am black, I can't be racist against blacks. I am gay, so I can't be homophobic, they'd again claim internalized homophobia and racism taught to you by the white supremacist patriarchy. But they can never come to grips with even the possibility that they suffer from internalized racism and internalized misandry and internalized heterophobia, and internalized xenophobia. Internalized in this case would be xenophilia, related to oikophobia. That's how they think. They just can't seem to get it through their skulls that if it is right to stand up against male favoritism, then it is right to stand up against female favoritism. If it is right to stand against white favoritism, then it is right to stand up against non-white favoritism. But they don't see the male favoritism in any situation, and when you show it—
Razor, if we are going to go shopping for your new outfit, we better hurry and get to the mall. You can ramble, I mean continue your speech on the way there.
Oh good heavens, you're right, let's get going. And when you show it to them, they refuse to look, they just shake their head and make excuses for why it's not there. You can rub their noses in it like shit, and they just won't see it. And then you look into their cold soulless eyes, and realize there is nothing you can do for them. The age-old expression nothing to do but pity the mad. When I am not arguing with these people, I pity them. When I argue them, I become angry with them. I guess the lesson here is to not bother arguing with them. There's always that possibility that there is an error in communication, and for reasons like that I shouldn't be so quick to judge. After all, it's hard to talk clearly in a microscopic tweet. However, I have argued so many like them on full-blown forums. 20 pages, 30 pages, it wouldn't surprise me if some of my arguments with social justice warriors haven't hit 50 or 60 pages. And with this Ryan Wiley guy, it's just an echo of the hundreds of arguments with his type that I have had in the past.
Oh Lord, do you have to ramble so much? Give him half a chance to use the words cultural Marxism and he won't shut up.
Kate, what are you doing in the backseat of my Lamborghini?
Razor, Lamborghinis don't have back seats.
Hey, you're right, Kate, where the hell are you?
In the trunk.
The trunk? The trunk? How the fuck can you fit in a Lamborghini trunk? I can barely fit a suitcase in there.
I once dated a Mexican. I picked up their skills.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Kate, what are you doing in the trunk?
Paul kicked me out of the house.
You don't live in a house, you live in my tool shed out back.
He kicked me out of the tool shed.
Why did he kick you out of the tool shed?
Because I set the bed on fire.
Why did you set the bed on fire?
Because I caught him cheating on me.
Calling out Prometheus Divine's name while I was asleep is not the same thing as cheating.
Oh,
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Paul, where are you?
I'm in the front trunk.
How the hell did you fit in my front trunk? It's barely big enough for a briefcase.
I'm half Mexican.
Kate, is Paul the Mexican you once dated?
Yes. Paul, what are you doing in the trunk?
I was lonely without you, and I wanted to make sure you weren't cheating on me.
Let me get this straight. Paul calls out Femitheist's name in bed. Kate flips out and sets the bed on fire. Paul kicks Kate out of the house, or tool shed as it may be, and Kate decides to sleep in the trunk of my car. Paul then decides to sleep in the other trunk because he's afraid she will cheat on him. You see folks, this is why I am MGTOW. Thank you very much. Wait a minute, who gave me the rim shot?
I'm the jalapeno on the stick.
Alright, that does it. I want every Mexican out of my car. I want everyone that is Mexican, part Mexican, has been Mexican, will be Mexican, has slept with a Mexican, has known a Mexican, has been to Mexico, has been made in Mexico, or can locate Mexico on a map, to get the fuck out of my car.
Now, let's find you a nice outfit. Oh look, what about this nice gray suit?
Not bad, but a little plain. I see grey and I think of gloom. My channel can't be gloomy, it has to be a party.
You know, it would really help if you converted to a 2.40 to 1 aspect ratio, and we'll find you a suit in. What are you currently in?
A modified 16:9.
A modified 16:9, there's no such. You know what? You go 16:9, we'll put the suit in 2.40 to 1.
Hey, that does work, that's pretty nice. But I still don't know about the grey. Hey, what about this purple suit? Well, how does it look? Too colorful? Too flashy maybe?
Oh lord, men just don't know how to shop. Shopping and fashion, it's a woman's domain. And Sally, I don't think you're a woman. Here, behold, style incarnate. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is what is known as style and fashion. Now, let's get you into something a little sexier. How about this leather jacket?
Oh wow, I do like it, it fits me like a glove, and keeps in touch with my bad boy style.
And Paul, I know just the thing for you, an oxblood suit.
Well, what do you know, it looks nice on me.
And now Sally, let's get you into something with style. Let's see, how about this alligator skin suit?
I have to confess, I do look nice in this. Okay Kate, I'll give credit where credit is due. You have really excellent taste, you have contributed very well today.
Well, this is certainly a touching moment. I'd love to stand around and do an 80s style montage in the mall to girls just wanna have fun. But look at the time, I have to get back to the house and shoot my video that I promised to my fans yesterday. I hope I make it in time.
Hey Razor, I was wondering. Can I sleep at your house?
No.
But Razor. Kate burned my bed.
I said no.
But Razor.
Paul, I know what you're going to say. Don't do it.
But Razor.
Paul.
But Razor.
What is it, Paul? God damn it, Paul. I knew you were going to do that. Hello everyone. Sorry that I've been gone forever. Wait, you guys really did give Sparky Fist to my goldfish? Oh well, that goldfish creeped me out a little anyway. He was always staring at me and pacing back and forth. I recently got a smartphone, an LG Optimus F7. I've never owned a smartphone before. I am seriously loving this thing. But what is up with every app violating your privacy? It's like every app wants access to your contacts list, your Twitter feeds, your Facebook, your Google account, your phone calls, your location, your microphone and camera, your diary that you kept when you were 12 years old, your social security number, your library card number, your fingerprint and your retina scan. Speaking of retina scan, there is a feature on this phone that says it can keep the screen on, if you have it set to timeout, and it will stay on if it detects you looking at the screen. I don't know about you guys, but I am not comfortable with my phone having awareness of when I look at it. I know what you're thinking, dude. What does a speech-impaired person need with a phone? Good question. I use a text-to-speech program on it to communicate with people when I don't feel like writing and making them read. I can also call a cab using a TTY service. Actually, I can call anyone with a TTY service, but cabs are the important ones because I can't find a fucking cab service that lets you email them, plus it's a camera and video camera. And if the power goes out, I now have a phone and internet service in emergencies. Oh, and it's an alarm clock. I really needed one of those. Yeah, I'm aware you can buy a wristwatch at the dollar store yada yada. I bought some nifty things for my phone like a battery-powered battery charger. I'm not kidding, it's a thing called Gomatic. You hook it into your USB port to charge, and once it's charged it holds enough juice to charge my phone twice, since it has twice the battery capacity of my phone, which as I understand it is a pretty high capacity, and because it's so small I can take it with me, and again, great for when the power goes out. I bought a 32 gig micro SD card for some extra space. I was told by someone on the Android forum that even though the specifications says it will only hold 32 gigs, it will actually handle a 64 gig SD card, but I didn't want to chance it. I'm sure they put 32 gig capacity on there for a reason, and I bought a really cool case for it. It's a 3-in-1. It is a case to protect the phone, consisting of a hard shell and a soft shell. I don't know why, and it has a faceplate that it slips into, which has a belt clip. That way I can clip it to my pants or belt, instead of trying to carry this big thing around in my pocket. And of course, I'm a guy and can't carry it in a purse, because having a convenient way of carrying all of your miscellaneous scrap is totally for girls. I mean, come on, what man wants to be able to conveniently carry shit? What a fag. But hey, that's our society, giving women choices, and shaming men to be locked into a role, a style, and so on. Girls do whatever they want, guys do whatever they're told, or we call them fags, bitches and pussies, and keep them in line. I was talking to Cheswold Almighty about my phone, and I am typing question after question to him because I don't know how to work anything on the phone. Things like, if you load up an application like Chrome, how do you go back? Took me a while to figure out simple things like that, and then I spent a few days hunting for just the right keyboard. So far swipe is the only one I really like. There are many keyboards that use swipe as a foundation and then build onto it, but I find them to be bloated, gimmicky, and just not good at predicting my next word. And of course they claim they can learn your grammatical style by reading your tweets and your Facebook etc., but it won't let you just load a 50-page text document into it. Fuck no, that would be too accurate and wouldn't give them an excuse to harvest your data. So even when you pay for an app, they're already making money by harvesting your data whether you pay for it or not. Also, I was asking this question and that question to Chaz, and he was like, they need to make a hieroglyphic app so you can figure out your phone grandpop. Chaz, you're a funny motherfucker. I am going to punch you when I see you, but still, you're a funny motherfucker. Oh yeah, and this really weird thing happened the other day. The home button kept flashing different colors. I didn't know what even was triggering it, so I decided to uncheck all the event types that trigger the home button LED, and it kept fucking flashing. Chaz asked why it bothered me so much. I told him I was scared I set off some sort of self-destruction sequence or some shit. I was waiting to hear self-destruction in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, I would have jumped out of the fucking window. Anyhow, turns out it's a glitch after the alarm goes off, and you flip the phone to activate snooze, but then you delete the alarm before the snooze goes off, and the remedy is either reboot the phone or set the alarm again and turn it off the right way. Enough about my phone. I have been working hard on a MGTOW series. I am going to promote the MGTOW lifestyle hard, and I will absolutely destroy traditionalist thought. I have a video coming out called MGTOW versus Traditionalism versus Feminism versus MRM. It discusses the future of our movement. It's 2 hours long, and I really need everyone, MGTOW, Traditionalist, everyone to watch this video. It will be my most important video, and possibly even the most important video in our movement. I don't think since Warren Farrell's myth of male power, has such a groundbreaking writing been established. Or maybe that's just arrogant pride and boasting on my part, but I really do believe this video is a must-see. I am going to try to get everyone I can to promote it. I don't care if it's the only video anyone ever watches from my channel, it's the one that matters. Even if traditionalists like Rocking Mystery or the Critical G watch it, and are disgusted over it, and want to tear it to shreds, I say good. I more than welcome criticisms of this video. Our movement has grown stagnant, and hopefully I will kick off the new era in our movement, or at least take everything to a whole new level, and force philosophical progress within our movement. Even if a tradcan watches this and disagrees, his disagreement will add new and needed discussion to our movement, in the way that arguing against feminists is a hopeless cause, as we cannot convert them. We do make a case to the fence-sitter, which are the ones we are appealing to, not the unwavering feminist. When we argue with our feminist enemy, we make ourselves stronger, but when we argue ourselves, we either fracture ourselves, or like an isometric struggle, we also strengthen ourselves. Sometimes ideological movements must divide itself. This is sometimes a necessary part of growth. Unlike the stagnant battle of left versus right, the battle of tradcan versus MGTOW is a necessary battle. It is not my intention to play peacekeeper and tell everyone to get along. It is my place to hand boxing gloves to everyone and encourage healthy intellectual competition that will make our movement internally strong. But before I release that powerful video, which there will also be a transcript of it on my blog since it is so damned long, before I release that video and the rest of my MGTOW series, I have a few ponage videos I will be releasing. One on the skeptical heretic, and another on Lacey Green, because Sugar Tits just needs her ass boned one more time. The skeptical heretic video is done, but the new Lacey Green video I haven't started yet, except in my head. Anyhow, my MGTOW series is one of the things that has kept me busy for so long. Oh, and I did a 5-hour long video about me and Cloverfield's debate. Yeah, it's a long ass video. Even the transcript that will be on my blog is insanely huge. The transcript is not complete for it, which is ironic considering a transcript is basically the origin of the video. I think the other thing that has taken a really long time is a video I have been working on about the video game culture, and about the trans community. I have been investigating the trans community very heavily. It's a far more complex subject than I originally thought. Those 2 videos are not going to be done for a while, since I am mostly still doing research for them. Anyhow, that's what I've been up to, and hey, I'm back, and no, I won't be wearing the leather jacket in my future videos, at least not the ones I already have made.